Hey everybody, Pat from Pat's Chats, and I'm here to tell you what's wrong with the GOAT debate. For those who don't know, the GOAT is a trend right now where we're trying to identify the greatest of all time, which is really just capital letters of the whole saying. Greatest of all time, G-O-A-T, GOAT. Very clever, I know. But the problem with that is we're taking team sports quite often and we're trying to isolate singular players. And that can't really be done, especially throughout the different eras, okay? But to really get into this, I think we should pick a sport. And we're going to stick with basketball. One, because I love it, and two, because I think it's the most active GOAT debate right now. So let's stick to basketball. So when it comes to basketball, we're going to talk about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Now, I'm not going to pick a GOAT for you. I'm not going to do that. Because I think they're both amazing athletes. I really do. And the reason why you can't pick a GOAT, I don't think you should try to pick a GOAT, is you can't judge the difference in the eras. We can all recognize the difference in the eras, but you can't judge fairly who would be better in each other's era. The training, nutrition, diet, schedules, transportation, all of this was different. The players have gotten better, but the players have also gotten softer, debatably. But the rules have changed for the longevity of the players. Like, there's things that Michael Jordan have done and things LeBron James have done that are each equally great, but separate. So when the eras are different, all you have left are the stats. And the stats can be skewed, or they can be pulled either way to help each other. And it's not going to get you anywhere. So instead, what's going to happen is you're going to argue stats that don't solve the debate. It's apples to oranges. There's great players that we're missing because we're trying to isolate the one greatest player. And I think that's a real shame in sports, right? There's players that have changed the game that will never be in the GOAT debate, but they are in the Hall of Fame. And people don't even discuss them or their impact anymore. Off the top of my head, you're looking at guys like John Stockton, Karl Malone. That is the greatest duo to start the pick and roll into what it is today. And you can look how it's so beneficial to some great players today, right? You also got other qualified big men. Big men aren't really a part of the league right now. That's just an evolution. But Patrick Ewing, Hall of Famer, great player. Never got a championship, never going to be in the debate, but a great player no one talks about. You can go more recently. James Harden right now is doing things that no other player has done. He's one of the single greatest scorers of all time. I don't particularly love the way James Harden plays, but I appreciate what he's doing. His skill set is amazing, but he's not the GOAT. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for an entire season, or two. I'm not really sure on the second one, but it was a lot. The only other person to do that was Oscar Robertson. Neither of those are in the GOAT debate. But it's still amazing, and we dismiss these accolades, these great accomplishments. It's insane to me. You can't compare the eras. What you should try to do is maybe just shift it to the greatest right now, or the greatest in your era, so you can still appreciate everything else that's happening. And I'm going to give you an example that I think is really relevant to that, and that's going to be in the NFL. Because I think for 3, maybe 5 years ago, the greatest of all time quarterback debate was between Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Really good conversation to have at the time. But now, people will argue that debate's going to quickly turn in 3 years to Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. It's about recency. It's a recency bias. It's what we're seeing. So please, appreciate the games. Stop listening to the analysts. Stop listening to Undisputed, First Take, if they're going to skew how you view the games. You really need to just appreciate what everything's going on. These guys, they're amazing athletes out there, and just because they might not be the GOAT, which I'm telling you is only the greatest of their era, because even if it is LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, are we going to deny how good Kobe Bryant was? And if I want to give a quick shout out, Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry, his agent should probably be the GOAT. Robert Horry has 7 championships to Michael's 6, and Robert Horry came off the bench. Just saying, stats, right? So, make it the greatest of your era.